the engagement team at that point of time, what they did was, they put their formula in the engagement team that they have discussed with the specialist on the Chrome, and they have said that you apply the formula like this. First thing was, you take out the height. There are various sort of hips. It was one hip but with different sizes. So what you should do is, you take one hip which is of a normal size, equal size. Take the height, breadth, all these things, right? And then you apply the formula given and tested by the specialist. You apply that formula, you get the weightage, right? So you have to know beforehand what rate will be applied, what exchange rate will be applied, right? And if there is exchange difference while calculating, where this difference would go. Okay? We are not going to accountancy on this, just I am giving you the areas where you have to focus, right? Exchange difference kahan jayega, and what rate will be applied to profit and loss account item, what rate will be applied to balance sheet item. Is it clear? So these are all the characteristics of strategy. Then availability of internal audit work. Internal auditors, they work in that client office throughout the year, and they have covered various areas which you may not be able to cover it. So find out beforehand that if there is internal audit in force. If yes, if it is a listed company, definitely it would be. If it is not a listed company, it may not be mandatory. So just find out whether internal audit work is there, and if it is available, then look into the reports given by the internal auditor and see whether how far you can rely on these reports for your audit purpose. Okay? Extent of reliance on internal audit work, as we said. Entities' use of service organization. Service organization means they are taking the services of other organization. For example, their accounting data is processed by other company. They are not maintaining the accounts department. What they do, a clerk is sitting there collecting all vouchers, and at the end of the day pass it on to service organization, and next day everything is processed and come to your office. Right? So you have to find out if there is service organization in the entity or not. And if it is there, then how should you obtain the document which satisfies you that everything is in order. Expected use of audit evidence obtained in previous year. The auditor's working paper of the previous year is a treasure. बहुत सारी information आपकी last year के working papers में होती है which have not changed during this year. Right? So what you should do is look at the working papers of the previous year and see what work you have carried out, and out of that work, is there any change in the procedures, in the accounting process, in the event circumstances, and if it is not changed, then you may rely on the work you carried out in the previous year. But if need be, you have to make change in the current year. So this is one of the support which you can get from your previous year's working paper. Effect of information technology on the audit procedure. Suppose a company is there who is dominant in computer. You being an auditor, are you expert to verify the information processed through the computer? You are not. You are not expert on that. Right? You can carry out the audit around the computer, but not through the computer, because you are not expert. So you have to either involve the computer expert to get the work done, right? Or you have to hire a person on your role to do it. So you have to look into it, what is the impact on your audit about the information technology. Clear? These are the characteristics of engagement. If you properly give time on these points, probably you will end up coming with a good plan of the audit. Okay? ये सारी चीजें पहले से देखने वाली होती है. नॉर्मली लोग एट द एंड इसमें जाके देखते हैं ये क्या हो गया, राइट. Coordination of expected coverage and timing of audit with review of interim financial statement, effect review of the. देखिए आजकल हाफ ईयरली अकाउंट्स को रिव्यू करना होता है, right? And auditors has to give review report on that. So work you have carried out during the review half yearly accounts, you can take advantage of that for your final year's audit, right? उसमें जो काम आप कर सकते थे वहाँ पे और जिसको आप रिलाई कर सकते हैं फर्दर, देन दिस विल बी पार्ट ऑफ योर. तो आपको ये देखना है कि क्या चीज हमें वहां से जो है ना कैरी ओवर करनी है, ठीक. सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम ये होती है अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द क्लाइंट्स पर्सनल एंड डेटा. कभी आप जाओ तो कहेंगे वो बंदा सीट पे नहीं है, ये छुट्टी पे चला गया, एक हफ्ते के बाद आएगा. डॉक्यूमेंट मांगो तो कहने लगे वो स्टोर में रखे हुए हैं, आई हैव टू सेंड समबडी, इट टेक सम टाइम, मे बी यू कम टुमारो. व्हेन यू कम टुमारो, अरे मैं तो भूल गया था, आज भेजूंगा मैं. एंड इट टेक्स टाइम. सो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द स्टाफ एंड डेटा विल बी देयर. सो व्हाट यू शुड डू इज व्हाट एवर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स यू ट्राई टू list down and give it to client before you reach the client office, so they will make the arrangement of the things and the people around you. Okay. Second part was reporting objective. Clear? Reporting objective. Entities timetable for reporting such as interim and final. एंट्रीम पे आपने क्या रिपोर्ट करना है, फाइनल पे क्या रिपोर्ट करना है, दिस शुड बी नोन बिफोर हैंड. ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मीटिंग विथ मैनेजमेंट एंड दोज चार्ज विद गवर्नेंस टू डिस्कस कि कब आप ऑडिट करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे, नेचर क्या होगी, ये डिस्कस करनी होगी उनके साथ, ठीक है. एंड देन एक्सपेक्टेड टाइमिंग ऑफ द रिपोर्ट टू बी इशूड. रिपोर्ट आप कब तक इशू करेंगे वो भी प्लानिंग का स्ट्रेटेजी का हिस्सा है. एंड देन फाइनली अदर कम्युनिकेशन जैसे ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट है, कवरिंग लेटर है, मैनेजमेंट लेटर्स है, व्हाटएवर इट इज, ऑल दीज थिंग्स हैव टू बी डिसाइडेड विद द मैनेजमेंट इन एडवांस. नेचर ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, टीम मेंबर्स के साथ आपको कम्युनिकेट करना है रिगार्डिंग द नेचर एंड टाइमिंग व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द वर्क एंड व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ वर्क यू आर गोइंग टू कैरी आउट, ठीक है. और फिर ये आपको बताना होगा कि व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू रिव्यू दोज वर्क डन. क्लियर? थर्ड पार्टीज के साथ अगर कम्युनिकेशन करनी है तो वो भी आपको रखनी पड़ेगी. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल राइटिंग टू द लॉयर्स, बैंकर्स, ये सारी चीजें जो है ना आपको प्लान के अंदर रखना होगा. व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू राइट देम एंड व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू एक्सपेक्ट द रिप्लाई फ्रॉम देम, एंड इफ यू डोंट गेट द रिप्लाई व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू फॉर देम. कस्टमर्स को आप कंफर्मेशन के लिए भेजेंगे, रिप्लाई नहीं आता, टिल व्हाट डेट यू आर गोइंग टू वेट, व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ कंफर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट यू आर गोइंग टू सेंड. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स यू हैव टू डिसाइड बिफोर हैंड. Now while making the plan, you have to consider significant factors. And what are those significant factors? These are as follows. Determination of the materiality level. As I said earlier, why we have to have a materiality level means audit is not 100% or absolute assurance. It is reasonable. So there may be a chance of error. And error to the tolerable extent, and that is called materiality level. Right? If any error is there within the materiality level set by you, then this is acceptable. If anything beyond that, then you are liable for that. Right? Now, when we talk about the material level could be for the component. If you are a parent company, then you have to set the materiality level for your individual subsidiary companies. Identification of material classes of transactions, account balances and disclosures. क्या disclosures होने? Because as you know that every year or every time the new IFRS